Green.
It's probably for the barbershop.
You think?
Well, they're repaving the parking lot. So I bet those are all people at the barbershop over.
Oh. We've been doing construction over there too. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, around there. I don't think it's for the barber shop, but.
Audition for me. He was phenomenal.
Mm.
All right, so Bazan, part 2,
Part 2.
evolution of the language of cinema.
Let's go on a Bazan adventure.
Yeah, let's go. Hopefully you've already been on an adventure.
So I don't think he believes like I thought he believes after reading this.
Oh, that's good.
About the he calls it the in-depth, I think, or something, the in-depth image, or like he was talking about
Shot in depth.
yeah, and I think he meant shallow depth, like when you're close up and only the person's in focus, and you know, and I asked about that last week, and we talked about it, and yeah, after reading it, it's not so much he thinks it's bad, it's just it's a different. He talks a lot about like the what the image, or not the image, the real and the image, right?
Yep.
Those is 2 points.
Yep. Yeah, so let's kind of break this down and go through it, because this is really a kind of an overview of film history as opposed to film style. He isn't just explaining the style and the abstract. He's saying, look at all these different approaches that are working in film history. So I think the kind of the context that he's coming out of is after sound cinema came around, a lot of people said, oh, the talkie killed the art of silent film.
Just like video killed the radio star.
In a way, that silent film was the true art. It had become, you know, what it was for Canuto, the birth of a sixth art. It was this special new kind of art. And then once they got sync sound, it was just people yakking on screen in the same old theater as before. It lost all of the artistic elements. And Bazan looks at those purists and he says, no, you're wrong. You do not understand what the art of cinema is. And the essence of the art of cinema is not silence. It's not you know, the silent film. So the way he explains that is he starts talking about these 2 different kinds of directors. He says there's some directors who put their faith in the image, and others who put their faith in what?
The real.
Reality. Yeah.
Reality.
Class was pretty interesting today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked more about Bazan. Did I tell you about Bazan? So basically, Bazan is more interested in, or he says that cinema is best when it's about observation than like one storyline. Basically saying like he's obsessed with capturing realism. So kind of like a lot of the movies I feel like I talk about, Or like with a superhero movie, it's like good guy versus bad guy.
Mhm.
That's like very narrow, very like basically saying the opposite of what he's saying is the director is basically just like saying, look at this, instead of like just letting you observe the world, right? And so like something he says often that they do in the narrower side is like they'll use a lot of close-ups because they want you to look at that one specific thing, And he's saying what's more effective is if you use like a bunch of wide shots with a lot of deep focus where you can see like everything and just let you observe what's happening. Like we watched a film that was kind of similar to what the style he was talking about, and like it was just a lot of shots where like 6 or more people are in the frame and like there's something happening, but then there's also this other character that's like just doing something else, and he's like it's more, I guess, effective when you get to see all of it at the same time, and it makes you want to go rewatch it and to see a different story.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I like that. Like that's like one of the styles that I like. I was like, I really am like, I feel like I'm resonating with this guy. It's interesting.
Cool.
What are we doing for dinner?
I found nothing yet in your sudden death to move me from the murder scene to the collective dream you left. And though I sat for days with your one-act plays and your poetry was your junk mail, magazines I've read.